think about language. Like before people could talk back in caveman days, they probably were dancing at each other, gesturing.
Gosh, are y'all hearing
doing
this?
some little dances at each other. You know what I mean? It's very human of us, and because of that, the humanness of it, I feel that it has the power to heal us.
Oof.
Individually and collectively.
What's up, world? Welcome to The Movement, where we discuss all things dance, life, and this profound, powerful dance through life. Whether you're a dancer, a little klutzy, or just a lot of curious, this show is all levels friendly, baby. So lace up and let's go. You know that feeling you get when you want to dance and live life to the fullest, but you're paralyzed and you can't bring yourself to move. You can't bring yourself to dance and mingle freely. That feeling of, I must forewarn everyone that I have two left feet just to lower the expectations and decrease the chances of complete embarrassment. I know that feeling all too well, because that is exactly who I used to be. Then through dance, I learned how to connect mind and body and to decrease that voice in my head that was so concerned about what others thought about me. I learned to increase the positive language as I spoke to myself and changed the course of my entire life dramatically. I want to help you overcome that same exact thing. Each week, I'll be holding a live class session where you will learn how to become the most confident version of yourself in dance and in life, while being able to ask any questions you have in a community of others just like yourself. Go down to hasdancecamp.co. That's hasdancecamp.co. I'll drop the link down in the description. I look forward to seeing you and building with you. Now let's get back to the show. What's goody in the hoodie? It's your boy Melvin A.C. Howell. I am your host. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm getting all wrapped up in the wires here. We getting used to this thing. Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in to The Movement. Why? Because it's not about the movement. We know this. What is it about? It's about what the move meant. MEANT. All caps. And today we're going to talk about some really important stuff that really ties into this movement, right? And so I'm not going to do a lot of talking for this intro. Today we have a very special guest, amazing tap dancer, phenomenal jazz dancer, choreographer, instructor, performer, actress, all of the above, the one and the only Amanda Hoyte. Come on in. Ah! Look at the jazz hands.
That's how we enter. All right. Hello.
I love it. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. I'm
Thank
happy
you.
to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Look, we try to cover up the couch,
I know,
but
right? We do what we can.
We do what we can, and we do what we do, and we're gonna make it do what it do, because that's how we do. Amanda, hey. This is exciting. I know the people are going to be excited about this because these last two episodes have been just me and they tired of hearing me talk. So I'm going to let you do all the talking today and we're just going to have like a conversation just like we regularly do.
Right.
We be getting into some deep conversations, y'all. So this is our attempt of capturing that deep conversation live just for you all, just to catch these gems and just to hear a perspective from beautiful, black, brilliant artists.
Thanks.
So...
Too.
I know who you are, but tell the people who you are. Don't be humble.
Oh.
Talk yourself up. Let's let them know, because you got accolades. You doing things.
Okay. Well, my name is Amanda Hoyte. I am from Western North Carolina. I am a tap and jazz dancer and choreographer and educator. I've found a real calling in teaching, and I recently, within the last 2 years or so, have become the dance program director at Mars Hill University, also in Western North Carolina, and that's been really awesome. I do studio work as well. I'm still performing. I don't know. I want to make it, I want to keep this summarized, you know what I mean? But who I am as a dancer, for sure. That is what moves me. And professionally, I'm fortunate to do what I'm super passionate about. So,
Yeah, that's a huge part right there, is like growing up loving dance and being able to do dance, you know, and make money doing it, but to also like spread that love that you have for it, and to spread the knowledge, because I feel like a lot of the knowledge goes missing through different generations, because it's presented differently. So now we have like TikTok, y'all, and we didn't mean to get into it so quickly, but this is how it happens. It happens so quickly.
Yeah.
Like, we have TikTok now, and so a lot of these moves are recycled moves from way back when, you know?
certainly.
And
yeah.
a lot of these kids who are doing it, like of all colors and ethnicities, they're doing it and they're changing the names of them. They don't even realize that. They don't realize the techniques that are being used. They don't realize where these moves originated.
Right.
It's just a something to do, you know?
It's it's definitely, I heard it pretty eloquently put, before, and I might be paraphrasing this, but that there's a sincere lack of tradition amongst this upcoming generation that we've got. They're very innovative and smart, and I do love to see people dancing, especially like we're talking about TikTok. Like, don't get me wrong, there's like joy there, but at the same time, you're right. If you ask them who did it first, they have no answers, and they don't care to either. But I do. I care.
Yeah, it's like
that's part of what I try to teach. I want to make sure that we're not losing a sense of what came before, and why we do what we do today in the way that we do it.
there's a purpose behind it. Like, dance is a whole language in itself.
Yeah.
And whenever you take certain moves and you use them in certain ways, it's like me picking a handful of Spanish words out of like a bowl and just using them and not knowing the words that I'm saying.
Arbitrarily, yeah.
Exactly. You know?
Yes. I do.
And that's kind of what it is, like haphazardly just using dance phrases and not understanding the culture behind it, not understanding the technique or why you're doing it, and just looking at it as like only a form of entertainment and just to get likes, views, validation, so on and so forth. But a lot of these, especially in a lot of the dance styles that originated in the streets and like underground and whatnot, you know, you got hip hop, tap, correct me if I'm wrong, jazz.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's right.
These are conversations that people are having with their words. So it's not just like a simple dance battle. It's not just them going and throwing out dance phrases and then like going home like peace, you know, like I threw out the best dance phrases. It's like what story am I telling? What conversation are we having? Who married that language with the music better? Or if there is no music, like externally, you know, because with tap, I know sometimes like I see you tapping without any particular, you know.
Yeah, because I am the music in that case. But that, you know, oh man, so many, several points here to be made. Specifically, as we're talking about American dance forms is what you've summarized essentially at this point, hip hop, tap, jazz. I connect to those things certainly as a person of African ancestry, given that those art forms originated in our communities, in our culture. There's like lots of really good scholarly information, by the way, if you're ever interested in reading about the history of tap and jazz. But I'm being very like vague and cursory right now. But certainly the social aspects of that dance, as far as it being communicative and inclusive, and also the kinetic ideas, are at the root African. And I think it's important that people know this, because I think that what bothers you and I most about, or not, aside from people not treating it as art, it's people not valuing the artists.
Yeah, such a lack of respect.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think I'm certainly, as an educator, dedicated to making sure that people recognize the roots of things. And that, that goes for when I'm teaching ballet and modern as well. I want people to know, because at the end of the day, dance mirrors culture. And I find it interesting. Honestly, I think it's just, it's interesting.
It's very interesting.
And I think it's definitely a part of why I practice tap and jazz in particular, because it makes me feel more connected to my roots. And I don't know, it's beautiful.
Heck yeah. So we're going to get back into that, but with that, I want to segue into like, what is your particular relationship with dance? Because how you talk about this is like very analytical. Like, this isn't just something that you just noticed one day. These are things that you've noticed over like a certain time period, and it sounds like it's had like a certain effect on how you view dance and how you view dance done by others, how you watch it. Because you don't, and I think this is with most dancers, but I know with us in particular, we can't just sit there and just watch dance just for the sake of watching dance. We're going to be analyzing everything. So what is your particular relationship with dance?
My relationship with dance, so I think I have to answer this question by starting at the very beginning of me and dance.
Go to the beginning.
So as a youngster, really, I come from a family of musicians. Like, everybody in my family is a musician. Everybody plays an instrument. So music is something that I grew up filling my house with, and I wasn't necessarily I wasn't against doing, musical instrument or playing music or whatever, but to me, it felt good in my body to play music, right? So I guess my relationship with dance is heavily influenced by my love of music and my desire to create music with my body, even if it doesn't necessarily, it certainly includes tap, but includes jazz as well.
Right.
Or, whatever style you're gonna call what I do, but it's music driven. I often find it hard to define myself as strictly a tap or a jazz dancer, because I feel that my style, what I do just spontaneously even, is just music.
Yeah.
It's music in my body. So I started taking formal lessons after having seen 2 music videos.
Oh, shoot.
The first of which was Michael Jackson's Thriller. I know.
Yep.
I know, but like the move is funky.
They
like,
really are.
Let's not like, I know that people be doing it all the time and that maybe we've seen it one too many times, but like I'll never tire of seeing Thriller.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you today.
Absolutely. Like the first ever music movie. That wasn't even a music video. That thing.
Yes,
it was
exactly.
so long.
It was an epic, and I just loved every little thing about it. Like I just loved every little thing about it.
And you know what is about that? Like for me, that particular music video, and I think we connect more heavily to it than the generations now, because they see the moves recycled and like recycled,
right.
and it loses some of its history and some of its value.
Right.
But whenever authenticity for sure, it's like we'll see the music video whenever we're younger, and there's like so many different things. Like there's stage presence, there's a story being told, there's a certain energy in that, like percussive movements, and like the movements are the music, just like you said.
Right.
You know?
I mean, say what you want about MJ, and also there's another Michael involved in choreographing a lot of his work as well, by the way.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's often like a duo effort, or Michael Jackson also choreographed, but there was another Michael involved as well, whose last name escapes me right at this moment, but I'll tell you later. I'll tell you later. Anyway, I digress.
You know that feeling you get when you want to dance and live life to the fullest, but you're paralyzed and you can't bring yourself to move. You can't bring yourself to dance and mingle freely. That feeling of, I must forewarn everyone that I have 2 left feet just to lower the expectations and decrease the chances of complete embarrassment. I know that feeling all too well, because that is exactly who I used to be. Then through dance, I learned how to connect mind and body and to decrease that voice in my head that was so concerned about what others thought about me. I learned to increase the positive language as I spoke to myself and changed the course of my entire life dramatically. I want to help you overcome that same exact thing. Each week, I'll be holding a live class session where you will learn how to become the most confident version of yourself in dance and in life, while being able to ask any questions you have in a community of others just like yourself. Go down to hasdancecamp.co. That's hasdancecamp.co. I'll drop the link down in the description. I look forward to seeing you and building with you. Now let's get back to the show.
That was the first music video that I saw. I thought it was really, I mean, when you see Michael Jackson perform anything really, because I went on to kind of binge a lot of those videos in my later years when internet was available. He'll dance things with just his heel, just a single heel on a beat that just hits, man. I just am in awe of him, and his predecessors as well, the people that influenced him, same kind of deal. You just see the music in even a finger, a head, a breath, a shoulder,
You're not
something.
lying.
Yeah, and I've always really appreciated that. I related to it before I had the words to describe what I was experiencing as I watched it. The other music video is by Janet Jackson, Rhythm Nation, not choreographed by her, but certainly performed as heck by her. There's like, y'all know it. You know. Yes, and just the little isolations and the
Yes.
I die. Like I die every time I see it. I love it. And this is age, I want to say like 3 maybe, was like, I have to do that.
Yeah.
I have to. And so I enrolled in formal lessons and I haven't looked back since. So yeah, I guess what my main bullet point here is, as far as me and dance goes, is I feel that it's heavily connected to music, at least for me. There's definitely other genres of dance and other views of dance that don't necessarily jive with mine. But for me, dance is music, and music is me.
Yeah. No, I love that, because I've seen, and I'm sure you've seen too, with all the competitions and things and performances you've gone to and participated in, there are so many dancers and non-dancers and appreciators of dancers out there who look at them as two separate entities, and a lot of the times that will cause people to dance on top of the beat or under the beat and not be with the beat.
Right.
But when you think of them as two, one and the same, then it really allows that music to flow through you. You can visualize it. You can feel it.
Right.
You can taste it. You can see it.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I think
sure.
That's powerful.
It is powerful. Nothing. That's kind of, and it brings up a good point. Like, our sensibilities definitely lean towards our blackness. Honestly, the idea of not being with music or dancing with me, or the idea of having them separated, is kind of foreign to us and not really a part of our aesthetic. And that speaks to who we are at our root, at our core, where we come from. And we've all seen you freestyle, and I do the same as a tap dancer with musicians. That ability to feel the music and not necessarily be like actually playing a musical instrument yourself. I guess you can count your body as that, in my opinion, but it's fine. I digress. Yeah, but being able to keep up with something that, when you don't necessarily like mindfully, consciously know what's coming next, you can feel what's coming next.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
And the fact that it is entertaining to watch is kind of a secondary consequence of us creating art in the moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's like mentally you don't know what's coming, but your body knows what's coming.
right.
And I've always been super, super intrigued by that. And I find it interesting whenever I'm teaching this to people, because there is a way to kind of train that. But
You want to pause?
I think it'd be fine.
Okay.
Y'all might hear there's some what is that, a leaf blower happening outside, and if y'all can hear that,
Sorry. It's gonna be so manicured out there.
Oh yeah,
He's really working hard for his living, or her, or they.
They work hard for the money. So let's go back to what we started on. My question is, whenever you hear the words dance and culture, what comes to mind?
Well, the fact that dance, if you were to look at dance throughout time, you would find a reflection of somebody's culture, that's for certain. And for me, I feel heavily connected to my practice of dance. Is my practice of dance connects me to my ancestors, the artists that came before me, and it feels important in that sense. Sorry.
No, I get exactly what you're saying. So like, I feel that importance. And again, we're on the same page because we dance together, we perform together, we talk about this all the time.
All the time.
All the
Yeah,
time.
all the time.
What would be, so if there's like someone who's listening, maybe they're new to dance or they've been dancing for a while, but they're trying to understand what you're saying, or they understand and they just don't know how to go about connecting deeper with the movements that they're doing versus just regurgitating, like pulling moves out
Right.
of their mind that they've seen.
Right. So I want to say that dance is something that is evolving. It's constantly evolving. But at the same time, like, I guess my message would be take some time to look into the people that have done this art form before you. Take some time to figure out where your art form came from. Because every form of dance has a story behind it. A really like dense, full of twists and turns kind of a story to it, and these brilliant people that create things that have outlived them, and that you're not necessarily responsible for regurgitating, but you can build upon these things,
right.
Through study of just, and you know, nobody's asking you to be like an expert on the history, but definitely you can locate your influences and credit them.
Yes.
I think, I feel that's important for certain. You know, the first thing that I said was like, well, the reason I started dancing is that 2 music videos that I saw as a youngster when MTV was like a big deal, you know? And that is, I don't know, when I think about myself as an artist, you know, I think at the end of the day, a lot of us are just trying to leave some remnant of ourselves here.
Yes.
To some extent, you know, there's certainly a host of other reasons why one would be creating dance art, but certainly you want to leave something that affects people and that will continue to affect people.
Yep.
And I know that, you know, yes, it would be satisfying to have people influenced by my work, but it would be even more satisfying for them to say my name. And so I try to make sure that when I'm talking about the art forms that I'm practicing that are as old as America and have roots that are as old as time itself, that I say that I'm able to articulate where it came from, who it came from, and you know, identify the influences that I may not even have consciously like realized are influences on my work.
Right. So like for anyone who like maybe it went over your head, and that's fine. Like that's why we're here, like to like educate and show you how dance is very beneficial to us all, and it's not just a form of entertainment. Like it's a lifestyle, and it's actually
art.
It's an art.
Yeah.
It's a necessity. Like it really changes things. It changes us personally as individuals. It will change you personally, and it can change your environment. It can change the people around you, the people that you cross paths with, even if it's a stranger. And I think the most important part in that, and correct me if I'm wrong, is paying your dues, or like giving credit where credit is due, understanding whether it's the inspiration, the style, the moves, where those came from, where they originated, and giving credit, because what that does is it draws you closer to that inspiration, the style, the music, the feeling, the movement, and it makes it more personal. When it's more personal, this is where your art gains its like foundation, its structure, its meaning, its purpose, that's where your art becomes like art that changes, versus art that's like, oh, that's cool, and then people keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And of course, this isn't just art for other people to approve of. We'll put that in quotes, because honestly, like, who cares if people approve of your art, right? For me personally, I don't know if it's the same way for you, Amanda, but like, I dance for me. Like, I got to a point where, because I used to always perform to entertain. I would like throw flips. I would like do my hardest pops, like crowd pleasing moves, but I wasn't feeling like satisfied after that performance. I was feeling like I was always worried about, dang, like I messed up that move, or I didn't land that flip solidly, or like I was so concerned and having anxiety over things that really didn't matter. And it was because I was trying to impress people for validation, to feel worthy of being a dancer or performing on that platform, right? But then I got to the point where I was like, I can't. And so I made a vow to myself to be like, you know what? Anytime I perform, it's going to be for the sole purpose of touching at least one person's heart in that room, and I'm going to tell my story. So I'm now dancing for myself, and I found that I get way more standing ovations and and whatnot from performances, because it means more. I understand where this inspiration is coming from my past, and like from dance films. Like, the first movie that got me really into dance was You Got Served.
Stop.
Bro, whenever I saw
understand. I understand. I still,
oh my gosh, bro. I learned every choreographic.
I'm just trying to restage it. So you trying to restage it? Let's go.
Let's restage it.
Let's go.
You Got Served.
I'm ready.
Point
2.9.
Point 2.9.
Yo,
2.9.
you about to get served breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, and like, but being able to connect it
Yeah.
to those particular points, to give credit, whether it's to, because I couldn't afford to go to studios when I was a kid, but inspiration from You Got Served, or from the First Step Up movie, or just giving credit to my past and what I went through, that sparked something in me to be like, I need some way to therapize this, you know, like.
Oh yeah.
And that's how I discovered dance.
Oh man, dance is one. It's so powerful. Like, if you think about, nobody had to tell you, I feel like, what dance is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just know. It's so human, and so. I mean, it is human. Think about language. Like, before people could talk back in caveman days, they probably were dancing at each other, gesturing.
Gosh, are y'all hearing
doing
this?
some little dances at each other. You know what I mean? It's very human of us, and because of that, the humanness of it, I feel that it has the power to heal us.
Oof.
Individually and collectively. And apart, like, here's what we don't always think about as performers, like, and don't get me wrong, I love entertaining people. I love it. I love dancing for entertainment, but at the same time, it depends on the kind of performance, right? When it comes to my art, my creation, like, whether it's in the moment or something that I choreographed beforehand, I want to connect. I want to connect. And I think that in that sense, we, the dancers, are healers. We're connectors. We have a job here. Woo! Is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't know what you believe in spiritually, but I do believe that there's a part of me that's here for that.
Yes.
Like, that's
Preach
why
it.
I'm here.
Preach it.
And so, yeah, I totally relate to the idea of dancing, I guess, for me, but also for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think dancing for you translates to us and we, because whenever you dance for them, it's almost always for validation.
Right.
And then you always leave, like, you'll see people perform, or like younger people perform, younger kids perform, and then when they leave the stage or they stumble on a move, you can see that instant heartbreak.
Crumble, yeah.
They are crushed instantly, and it's because they're dancing for other people. But whenever you see people go up there like yourself and you dance for you and you're just in your joy, you're in your element, nothing else matters. You're not worried about missing a beat, which you never do, or like the one dancer that never misses a beat, or you're not worried about those things, because in the grand scheme of what your purpose is and what you're looking to accomplish with that performance on that platform, missing a beat, if missing a beat ruins that whole message, then there was no message in the first
there was
place.
Nothing to be said.
There was nothing to be said. Yeah. Exactly. But when there's a message, like whenever you see like a Denzel Washington movie or a Will Smith movie or something, even if they stumble on a line, like we're not focused on that. We're not looking for mess ups. We're trying to like figure out like we're in there. We crying with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like I freaking watched, and I know this is a tangent, I watched King Richard a few nights ago.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh dang! I don't want to ruin it for you. That's the one about the
yeah.
It was so good, and it was like him playing a different type of role with like an accent and whatnot, or like
like a
a voice thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
A
sorry,
voice
I'm
thing.
like,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And like, I wasn't, even though it felt new to me, I wasn't looking for any. I was like, I want to learn more about this character, because there's something that is being said that needs to be said. There's a message there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, no, I'm totally with you. And I just want to go back a little bit more to this, really, like, golly, like, and I know this, but whenever I hear it from someone else who also knows, it really hits different. It was like pretty much dance is humans' first language.
It is.
Like when babies hear music, before they can even walk and balance properly, they're doing jigs.
They got that beat.
They got the beat. They know how it makes them feel, and they just move.
Right.
Like that's literally it.
We're about to get into sound and color right now.
Oh my gosh. Y'all.
Yeah.
Just a little foreshadow. We got some
stuff coming.
She's got like this amazing like dance production coming on, and
you'll be the first to know.
Yeah. Let me not.
Melvin's in on it, so
It's gonna be fire.
But yeah, it is humans' first language, and like if you just think about the way that your body even works, like it's all music. It's all music.
It is.
It's all music. It's all dance. Your whole existence is
from top to bottom
is a dance.
The heartbeat, the pulse.
Your whole existence is a dance. And I don't know. It feels.
I'm just like. I'm like feeling all of it. Keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt.
But that's kind of the premise of the show that I've been curating for several years now and trying to put out into the world at yet to be determined date in the very near future. It's a show that just is dedicated to speaking to people. In a language that they don't have to think too much about, I guess. It's just inherent. Registers. Yeah. It's there.
Yes.
It's there. Yeah. And just going back to the fact that dance is powerful in that way. Art is powerful in that way. Some of my thoughts about this come directly from an artist named Kandinsky. But to paraphrase, like probably extreme paraphrase and also like partly my interpretation, he describes artists as divine in some way, like more designed in that image, I suppose, and kind of tasked with speaking to people.
Yes.
That's
That's it.
And I mean, I take that to heart. I try to make sure, even in all of the times that I'm choreographing, purely entertainment shows or doing that kind of stuff, I try to keep with me the fact that this is a powerful language that I'm speaking here. And I want to do it justice, and I want to make sure that I'm serving my purpose here, I guess. And I think that's part of why I became an educator in the first place. Because it's purposeful.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I want to talk to people about this.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, and not in a intimidating way, but it's like a great burden and responsibility to like not just naturally be gifted at dance, because even when you're naturally gifted at anything, if you don't work at it, it's going to turn to trash. Like
True.
you can only grow but so much from
True.
feeling like I've already made it, right? That's neither here nor there. It's everywhere though. But I lost my point.
That's okay.
What'd you say? You said
You were saying it's both. It's a heavy. It's like a responsibility, but also.
It's like, I like using not references, but like comparisons and whatnot. So, what's the movie? One of the characters, Doctor Strange.
Okay.
So
Haven't seen it yet.
oh man, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing.
Tell me, sorry.
We about to have a movie night.
All right, good. Sounds good.
So it's like he has this this power. He didn't start off with this power. It was kind of, I guess, given to him. He earned it, but it was kind of given to him. He was like chosen, I guess. So he has like this cape.
As we were.
Yeah, he was chosen,
As you are.
and so he has this responsibility. He could just use it to like, like, oh, I want some food. Let me just, jump through a portal over here to Subway real quick, and I'm gonna jump to a portal and come back. Like he could use it selfishly. He could use it to manipulate people, get what he wants. But there's like a greater responsibility to spread a certain message, to help others, to help get certain messages across, to help get messages to people, because we'll use the distance he is from certain people he needs to help. We'll compare that to all the different forms of communication as the distance, and that gift or that message only being able to be received through dance. Yeah, I know that was a lot.
No, but I hear that. I get it.
So yeah, like some people, you can tell them something and it doesn't register, or it feels maybe they have some type of trauma where it's hard for them to accept what other people are telling them. Maybe they feel maybe they get offensive or defensive. Versus with dance, because it is so innate, it's natural for everyone. It's not taken as an aggressive, it's not taken as an attack as much as it is like you want to understand it and you want to view it and you want to love it, and then it touches something within you, and it's like it catches you at a point of vulnerability. It catches them at a point of vulnerability where their guard is not up in a way to be like, now somebody's trying to hurt me, like I gotta keep my walls up, but it's like I want to understand this, and then they see themselves in that message, and then it can change the whole thing.
Oh yes, for certain. I
So-
mean, definitely, as we dance, people are gonna interpret the message the way that they do. It's subjective, right? There's a certain amount of whatever we meant to communicate may not necessarily be what people receive, but they'll receive it in the way they're supposed to, I feel.
Oh yeah.
Like in a way that, I don't know, feels right for them, I guess, that works. That I do believe that dance in a way, is a little bit of a medicine for people.
Absolutely.
And that's watching it, participating in it. It can address things in a way, like you said, like it can address things in a way that doesn't feel so
like coming after
yeah, you. It's like on a deeper level addressing some things, you know?
And it's welcoming, it's unbiased.
Right.
You know, it's the one language for sure that is unbiased to anybody.
Right.
Doesn't care about background, color, ethnicity, language, none of that.
Right. I don't know. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
I feel fortunate to have spent most of my life just spending time with dance.
No, I agree. I'm that same way. Like, it is a blessing because, like, I think about, like, I wish I could, like, sing all the time because I would sing everything.
Yeah.
I might. Like, I feel like...
Get you a coach, boo.
I got you. You know what?
I got you.
You got a coach?
I got you. Yeah, I can find you one. For sure.
Oh,
I
say
went to
it.
university up there.
Oh, y'all, give me a month. Give me 4 more episodes. I'm gonna be on here. I'm gonna sing the whole interview. Welcome to.
Sing your own theme song. Shoot.
For real.
Love it.
Random question. Mm-hmm. Which is your favorite style of dance? Tap or jazz? You have to pick one.
Yo.
You cannot do both.
Impossible.
You got to pick one, or
honestly,
you lose your feet.
Okay, so here's how I'm gonna answer this question, because to be real with you, they exist on the same continuum.
I knew you was finna go there.
So basically, what I'm trying to say is that
I'm gonna do both.
I'm gonna say jazz because tap is jazz. Trick me up with some questions.
I'm done.
Nah.
I'm done.
Oh man, ridiculous. No, I think that but for real, in real talk, like they are really from the same place.
No, that's real talk.
So I think that's a hard question. Oh my gosh.
And I know it's hard to look at them as separate.
It is partly because
it's like part of who you are, and you understand they're really not separate.
Right.
It's just like an umbrella, right?
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, or a root.
One of them. So if you want a quick history rundown, and I'm gonna summarize. So I would like to. I'm gonna try and send you. At least one major source of this information.
Dude, I'm gonna put it in.
Although I am a scholar as well.
She is.
But I'm not. I would say there are definitely other people with a lot of expertise on this. There have been several books written about jazz dance, P.S. But the most recent books that I've been reading, which include several, describe. So if you think about the history of jazz in America, there was once a time where dance and music weren't necessarily super separate, and jazz dance as we understand it today doesn't exist without jazz music until like the 1940s, essentially when jazz starts doing bebop things in the 40s. Jazz dance kind of becomes something else. It incorporates some other techniques. We're also talking about the golden age of Hollywood, so and also some early codifications of what we now understand as jazz dance. But authentic jazz dance accompanies jazz music. And the precursor to that authentic jazz dance is just vernacular, African-American vernacular dances, folk dances, things that like cakewalks, you know. The cakewalk is something that you could have seen on a plantation. Like, this is before emancipation, right? Post emancipation, we see development of moves that African Americans were doing on plantations. We see them evolve into something else because we have these little black clubs, often playing jazz music or precursors to jazz at some point, and then jazz music ultimately. And the dance that comes from what we call the jazz age is what you would consider authentic jazz dance. And in fact, you can see remnants of that in current jazz dances and more aptly called jazz-derived dances. You can see some remnants of authentic jazz here and there, but not necessarily in large amounts per se, because it's been fused with other things. You can see some remnants of authentic jazz and hip hop even.
These are specs.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's a really hard subject, jazz dance, to summarize in a very short amount of time. But what we call jazz dance now is a derivative of jazz dances, and tap dance is an early form of jazz dance. So whereas, like I said, jazz dance kind of becomes more associated with popular music styles when bebop becomes a thing, tap dance, on the other hand, stayed with beboppers. There were plenty of tap dancers that danced with bebop because, you know, early tap dancers were a part of rhythmic innovation in jazz bands. I still do some live tap dancing today because for that reason. I'm not the only one, by the way. Like, there are plenty of tap dancers that also kind of have gone back to the roots of their art form and are doing it live, improvised, old school style, you know, hoofers. But yeah, it's a jazz dance is an immense subject to cover in a short amount of time, like I said. But essentially, jazz, tap come from the same roots. So I would have a hard time choosing between the two. Because, like, if you look at my jazz, when I try to do authentic jazz, which, mind you, like, some of it was solo, I'm sure, but there were definitely like partner dances. Watch some Hell's a Poppin', Lindy Hop, you know, swing dance, that kind of like I don't do that. Okay, that's not me. I do not do that. But certainly you can like solo style some of those authentic jazz moves. But when I try to do authentic jazz, like, I usually end up throwing in some percussive elements because that's kind of a part of the original. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
It's gotta be there,
right?
And especially like whenever you see, I gotta get some like video clips. I want to do like a reel, but like if you see her choreography, it's very musical. It is percussive at points, but also very smooth. So you can actually, like, maybe you've seen videos of like dancers like going through their choreography without music, and you hear like boom boom ka, like you can literally see the textures and see the sounds in her choreography, and it's an experience. It is a whole experience. That being said, where can if somebody is hearing this or seeing this on YouTube and they want to like book you, y'all, she does music videos. She's been in music videos around the country. She's danced around the world, taught. She is, what is your title at Mars Hill?
Dance program director.
Dance program director at Mars Hill. And she's actually doing and teaching things, educating on different aspects of dance and musical culture that university's never had before. Groundbreaking. That is the whole purpose. That is the whole purpose. It's not about the it's not about the movement. It's about what the movement, and she's bringing the meaning of the movement to Mars Hill University. If you're you have some pull at another university, or you're a professor, or whatever the case may be, or you're a student at a different university or college, and you want to bring new aspects to that, or maybe it's a dance school, whatever the case may be.
I'm your girl.
For real.
I'm happy to guest teach anywhere or guest choreograph anywhere. You can find me on the interweb. I am trying to conduct, kind of, freelance work through Instagram at is that Amanda is underscore that underscore Amanda. I think it's underscores. Yeah.
We're gonna put it up there for you.
Yeah. Anyhow, find me there, or find me at Mars Hill University. All of my dance classes can be audited. I don't remember for how much, but you can audit for an entire semester like you're a student but not a student. You can come take any studio classes. I will likely offer a few master classes in the upcoming year.
Nice.
I've got a pretty busy season coming up, but hopefully 2023 springtime.
Yep. Resources, y'all.
You'll find me, you'll see me, y'all. But for now, you can definitely get in touch with me on Instagram.
Yes.
Or Facebook if you'd like. I have a dance page as well. Amanda Hoyte Dancer.
Hoyt Dancer. Y'all gotta stay tapped in. Keep coming, keep listening, keep watching, subscribe, like, share, follow, tell your friends. Tell your dance studio, tell your schools, because we're really dropping some stuff on here, and we have like some amazing dancers, educators, artists, professionals, all of the above, like right beside of me right here. And it's
sorry, quick
thing.
I totally forgot. So like I'm gonna just try this. If I get enough requests for a tap masterclass, I will do one. Right here in Western North Carolina. So
well, you got one request.
Yeah. If you out here
I need it.
And you're trying to do that, but it's like it'll be a master class. You know what I mean?
So
a master class. So like,
do you
just request? Yeah.
Do you encourage? So it's a master class. So whenever I take master classes, or whenever I hear that term, I think of people who are advanced level or higher, or somebody, no matter what their level is, who is willing to accept that challenge at the pace of the class.
Correct.
And just go for it. Is that how you would perceive that too, or who do you encourage to come to your class?
Yeah. So listen, if I'll be pretty specific about descriptions, but masterclass for me at this point would be talking to you first about tap dance in particular, and I don't necessarily equate I'm not looking to like host a professional tap class. Like if I want to do that, I'll put it in the descriptions, but if you see a class of mine that says masterclass, you're in this area, specifically Western North Carolina, it probably is a multi-level kind of an opportunity that will lean, it'll be quite hard for somebody who's never taken tap before. But I like to be inclusive, especially because I don't think it's not a super common art form around here, like outside of like studio land. But I would like to have people get into it even. So there, it really depends, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Master class might be like master class suitable for absolute beginners, like as in we'll do like a good 2 hours of like learning all the basics or something.
Oh my gosh.
Or something, you know what I mean? Or it might be master class, like intermediate level and higher. Like I don't necessarily, master for me means mastery of whatever material is there.
I love that. Yo, you just gave it a whole new definition for me. Like, cause when, like, my only perspective of it was it's going to be like advanced to professional level, and all are welcome as long as you're up for that challenge.
Right.
Cause I'm not finna hold back.
Right.
But you just gave it like a whole new meaning. It's like mastery of whatever we're going to be working on.
Right.
And that might be mastery of stage presence. It might not have nothing to do with techniques of moves,
right,
but how you present those moves.
Right.
Wow.
So it's,
y'all,
I like to cater to
crazy.
I like to cater to my audience because again, I'm here to help people learn. I don't so yeah, like I think there's certainly a time and a place for me to be like surrounded by professionals from whom I can even learn a thing or two from. But I also feel like, I don't know, like let's if there is an audience looking to get into tap dancing, like I would like to host something for that audience. If there's an audience that's looking to improve their skills as an already tap dancer, let's do that. Let's go. Like what I'm trying to say is let me hear from you. If you have any requests, the more requests I get, the more apt I am to actually invest time. And
based on those requests, we'll let her know what type of master class to put together. So if you're one of those people who this is really interesting you want to make sure that you're one of the first ones to actually reach out, because it's usually those first people who reach out are the people that we base the material of that class off of.
Correct, yeah.
So we don't base it off of the last few people, the stragglers. Right. We're just like, oh, we already got our curriculum.
I got my core people right here.
For real.
Let's go.
So, message us down in, review. If you're on YouTube, throw it in the comment section. My email is plastered everywhere on my website.
All over
go directly to her stuff though too.
Check it out.
So she's gonna be one doing the class, not me. If you take my tap class, I'm telling you.
We're about to be a professional in 5 minutes. Let's go.
No, not at all.
That's all you need to know.
We're gonna be straight just like tapping. Look, my ankle's not even loose right now. She probably got so many critiques for me at the moment.
It's fine. We'll talk about it later. I'm not going to embarrass you in front of these people. Let's go.
See, look, I'm here for it. All right, so we're about to close it out. Thank you so much for joining us. So before we close it out, I have 2 questions for you. So first is, which question do I want to ask first? First is, I'm super intrigued, and maybe they are too, about this sound and color. Is there anything you can give us on that? Like, what is it going to be about? Even if it's super general.
Sound and color is about the human experience, but on a very fundamental kind of a level. I don't want to say some people, Kat's probably partially out of the bag for a few of these viewers, but it's essentially about the human experience, connecting to other people, connecting. This is going to sound really heady, but connecting to Earth. It's about the, what's a good way to put this? I mean, I don't want to go too far.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. But what you gave us already is
like good.
It's good. It's like it really adds more interest, about the human experience and connecting to Earth. and the title is Sound and Color. Like, I'm like, what? I don't know what to expect, but like in a good way.
Yeah.
You know, like when you see like a really good movie trailer and you're like, oh my gosh, that's how I'm feeling. That's dope. So, okay. So I know that the date is to be discussed, but if you had the resources, like if the resources came out of nowhere, would you be open to putting this on in 2023?
Oh yeah, I'd be open. I would. So look.
You know that feeling you get when you want to dance and live life to the fullest, but you're paralyzed and you can't bring yourself to move. You can't bring yourself to dance and mingle freely. That feeling of, I must forewarn everyone that I have 2 left feet just to lower the expectations and decrease the chances of complete embarrassment. I know that feeling all too well, because that is exactly who I used to be. Then through dance, I learned how to connect mind and body and to decrease that voice in my head that was so concerned about what others thought about me. I learned to increase the positive language as I spoke to myself and changed the course of my entire life dramatically. I want to help you overcome that same exact thing. Each week, I'll be holding a live class session where you will learn how to become the most confident version of yourself in dance and in life, while being able to ask any questions you have in a community of others just like yourself. Go down to hasdancecamp.co. That's HAS dancecamp.co. I'll drop the link down in the description. I look forward to seeing you and building with you. Now let's get back to the show.
If I had the resources, I would want to have it in summer of 2023. For sure. Or even like maybe early fall of 2023. But I would, if I had the resources, I would do an audition call today and get started on it. I would get all my musicians. That's another thing. It involves live music, so I need resources. Is the thing.
Okay.
But I've been speaking to people about this for several years now, and the pandemonium kind of put a damper on that for me. And now that Pantera's gone, I'm really trying to do, sorry. I'm done. All right. I'm done. Nah, I am really trying to get things moving, but it's hard out here to do art when I'm also doing things for a living as well, which is where resources come in.
Absolutely. And that's a big part, is like what we do is so crucial to making immediate change that we shouldn't, as like dedicated, like true artists, should not have to be weighing so much on like, I need money to pay all these basic necessities, and then I can put some energy towards, so
somebody come design a budget for me, please.
If you're good at designing budget,
seriously,
we want to hear from you. We want to meet up with you, take you out for coffee, whatever the case may be.
Melvin's got some shows too that we have talked about a lot of things.
We got to get that Black Brilliance. We got to get the video.
I know.
Y'all, we put on like a full 90+ minute show with just, it really started off with just us two, and then we added in one of her old dance students.
Two of them.
Two of them. Yeah. So that was great.
It was beautiful.
It was brilliant. All right, and last question.
Yes.
For the dancers out there, let's focus this in towards beginner dancers. What words of wisdom or advice would you give them? And this can be like anything related to dance or life, or dance through life.
Oh man, a beginner dancer in any.
Let's stick with
the genres that I work with.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. So I didn't mention I am classically trained and all that, right? But let's stick to just like this jazz and tap kind of an area. If you're just beginning, I would say stay grounded. Physically and mentally.
There it is. Physically and mentally, y'all. Stay grounded.
Stay grounded. And also have a good time. It's part of the tradition that jazz and tap come from is just like having a good having a good life together, like having fun, communicate, like not all of it, but part of that tradition is just about people keeping their spirit alive.
Yes.
So it's important that it feels like it's feeding you in some way. Like, granted, I think it's easy, especially as a beginner, it's important to be concerned about technique and all that stuff if you really truly want to like excel in the art form. But don't forget to add joy.
Yes.
To the equation.
Yo, because whenever that joy is not there, like, you'll get burnout quick and easy, first of all. But then it's just, without joy, it's not joyous. You don't really enjoy so many joys.
Yeah, right. Joyous.
You just don't enjoy it.
Right. You gotta, though.
You have to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that like comes from not taking it so seriously in a way of like, I gotta be perfect, I gotta be the best, or I gotta achieve this, but just...
You're right. My last piece of advice would be don't be afraid to experiment. Outside of class.
Yes.
That's something that I wish somebody would have said to me when I was younger, actually, and just starting out, is like, don't be self-conscious about creating something. Like, not everything that's created is meant for public consumption. So like, if you're feeling creative, but you're like, oh man, I don't have the technical skills or whatever, if you're feeling like improvising to some music that you like, but you don't know where to start with what feels good for you. And don't be afraid to create. Don't be afraid to find your artistic voice, even if you're not well versed yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good. We're going to close it out there.
Yeah.
Do not be afraid to find your artistic voice. Don't try to imitate someone else's voice. Like, find your voice, and that's where your sauce comes into play. That's where your individuality
find inspiration, but you don't need to imitate, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Inspiration, not imitation.
Correct.
Right? You feel me? You feel us?
Yeah.
Shoot. That was it. Shoot. Well, shoot. I said a shoot, baby.
Shoot, baby. That's what it is, yeah.
So again, like, share, subscribe, follow, hit the bell notification. We're here every single Wednesday. I also post dance tips in under 2 minutes. So maybe you want some dance tips casually throughout each week. Like, I post those. If you want to learn how to dance at family functions, weddings, at the bar, at the club, you want to learn how to, dance with your partner. Maybe your partner knows how to dance and you don't want to feel awkward or anything. Like, there's so many different dance tips, and we dropping them gems on you. So stick with us. I ain't in the office today. I'm at my home office, and you know what? We're just doing it.
Doing the thing.
We're doing the thing. So thank you so much for tuning in.
Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. I hope I hear from you.
You're gonna hear. Let her hear from you. Thank you for tuning into The Movement. Why? Because it's not about the movement. It's about what the move meant. Thank you so much, Amanda.
Thank you.
We're gonna have her back on here, and we're gonna drop the date for Sound and Color.
Yeah.
Because you all need to be there.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to The Movement. Why? Because it's not about the movement. It is about what the move meant. Catch us every Wednesday at noon, right here, every Wednesday. Right here at noon, every Wednesday. Until next time, stay blessed.